I'm good. You?
Good, good. Yeah, I just want to let you know that it's an honor, for you to come on my show. I was fortunate enough to be at the Winston-Salem Chronicles breakfast when I went and I got to see you perform there. Tell me, have there any other performances you've done?
Over the summer, I performed at the Winston-Salem Dash game, and I sang the national anthem there, and that's about it.
Okay. Now, tell me, what grade are you in?
8th.
Oh, okay. And how old are you?
13.
All right. Now, tell me, what book do you have for us today?
I have The Weirdo.
Okay. The author is?
The author is Theodore Taylor.
All right. Now, I'm going to get you to give me just a little brief summary about The Weirdo. For me?
Yeah. The Weirdo is about this girl named Sarah, and she traveled through this
A time warp?
No, she traveled through this swamp, and while she was traveling through there, it's like she kept damaging her body. Like, she was trying to find this dog, and the dog was chasing a bear, and like while she was traveling through the swamp, this guy had murdered this guy named he murdered somebody, and while she was traveling through there, she found this house, and this guy named Chip Clute, like, people would call him a weirdo.
Right.
And so, like, the weirdo, he would defend people from, like, he would defend the bears from getting hurt and stuff.
Poachers or stuff like that.
Yeah. And like, he didn't like that, so he spoke against the people who would like try and kill the bears.
Okay. Now, what was your favorite part, your most favorite part, most exciting part, I guess, of that book?
My favorite part was it was during the end, like, they were having this big conference with everybody, and so like it was like Chip Clute and Sarah against everybody else, and so like they had to speak out against everybody else, saying like, you guys shouldn't harm the bears, like, they're good.
Yeah, instead of hunting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying to preserve them.
Right.
Okay. Now, tell me, did this book teach you any lessons?
It taught me about, conflict and like how we should accept everybody for who they are. And Chip Clute, like, half of his face was burnt because he was in an airplane crash. And so, like, in class, we're learning about conflict and, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. And not to, I guess, judge people.
Right.
If they have some kind of,
Just accept everybody for who they are.
Physical disabilities or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, would you recommend this book to your classmates?
Yeah, I would. It's a really good book.
Now, if you could change anything about Weirdo, what would you change?
I would probably change the scene where she's traveling through the swamp, and just make it about, going against everybody else, about not hurting the bears.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get you to read me a few pages from The Weirdo. Will you do that for me?
Yes.
Okay.
A little after 10, she heard the sound of an outboard motor and looked southwest across the lake. In the distance, a small boat was headed toward the house. Soon she made out a single figure standing in it. It must be one of the Clutes, she thought. No one else was in the boat. As the noise grew louder and the boat came closer, the dogs lost interest in Sam and ran down to the lake shore. Their tails wagged a welcome. By the time the engine shut down and the prow of the boat touched land, Sam could see the sole occupant wore a dark jacket, probably wool, and a black baseball cap. He hopped out, tossing ashore a prong anchor to make sure the small craft wouldn't drift away. Sam guessed she was looking at Clute's son. He had no beard, wasn't a man in size, wasn't the swamp walker. Here was the weirdo few people had seen. The dogs jumped on him gleefully, and he bent to scruff them, talk to them. When he was about 100 feet away, limping toward the house, Sam thought she'd better let him know someone was on the roof. "Hey there," she yelled. The boy stopped, surprised at the voice. "I'm up here on your roof." He looked up. Sam felt idiotic. Coming closer, he finally spoke gruffly. "What are you doing there?" A pair of binoculars hung from his neck. "Your dogs chase me. They guard the place." He sounded annoyed at the intrusion. Sam laughed weakly at the understatement. He was almost directly beneath her now, looking up, and she could see that the right side of his face was normal, but the left side was slick and almond colored. His left eye dropped at the corner, and there was no eyebrow above. His left ear was a brown roseate. It was almost as if he had two faces, the mare's left side making him a phantom of the opera without a mask. He wore a glove on his left hand, none on his right. Several wisps of hair curled out from under the baseball cap. No wonder people who had seen him said he was weird. Spotting the waiter, picking it up, he asked, This yours?" Sam nodded. "I'll get you down." "Thank you." However weird he looked, he didn't seem threatening, and the dogs, Dackle, at the sight of their master, were now acting as if they hadn't attacked in the first place. He disappeared around the side of the house and came back a moment later carrying a ladder. Sam swung her feet out. Her socks had turned a reddish black from the dried blood, almost the color of old fireplace brick. "What happened to your feet?" He was now at roof level. The gruffness had gone out of his voice at the sight of her bloody socks. "I walked 5 miles from the swamp yesterday afternoon and this morning. You had the wrong boots." I had the wrong everything. She stood up and let out a cry, almost losing her balance. The needle pain was so intense it brought tears. She grabbed at the top of the ladder to keep from falling. The boy said, "Don't try to come down, I'll carry you." He moved up another 2 rungs. Put your arms around my neck and hold on." It couldn't hurt any worse if he dropped her. She nodded and closing her eyes, locked her arms around his neck. "Just hang on." She did as instructed, feeling herself being lowered to the ground. Then he cradled her and began limping around toward the front of the house. Whatever was wrong with him, there was no lack of strength. "Why were you in the swamp?" he asked. "A dog that I was taking care of chased a bear." "I chased after the dog." "I guess you didn't catch it." "I guess I didn't." As they went through the door, she said, "I'd like to make a phone call. My parents don't know where I am." He put her down on a chair by the kitchen table and brought the phone over.